folks, I wanted to take a moment and explain to you what I personally believe are the two best stock portfolio trackers currently available on the internet. And don't worry, you're probably as frugal as I am, and I'm not trying to charge you anything here. I'm just trying to clarify what I personally believe is awesome. Now, this is either going to be completely free or relatively cheap, and I have discounts with these companies because I've spent several years investing in the markets, building a six-figure portfolio to find what I personally believe are just incredible trackers, because you OG subscribers see me use these, and I believe both of them have their pros and cons that we're going to go over in this video. But we're going to start with the simpler of the bunch. So we're going to zoom out a little bit and start by taking a look at trackyourdividends.com, obviously primarily focused for dividend investors, and what I believe is going to be appropriate for the simpler, a little less experienced with the spreadsheet kind of investor out there. But don't worry, I'm going to go through a lot of stuff here, guys. And just scrolling down, ironically, it says ditch your dividend spreadsheet, because with this, guys, what I love most about it is it can take multiple currencies. Being a Canadian here, so if you're buying US, Canadian, European stocks, it can kind of bring it all into one place and then convert it to whatever currency you want very fluently, in my opinion here. And just taking a look at what they offer for products, there is the absolute free version, which I think is going to work for the majority of you. And then there is the pro version, which offers some analytical tools that you're going to see as well, because I do have the pro version here, folks. And just taking a look at the dividend portfolio on the main dashboard, you kind of get your portfolio value, your dividend yield, your yield on cost, and your annual income all automatically projected out for you. Now, the reason these tools become very useful is if you are like me and you are managing multiple accounts, let's say you got, like in the US, a 401k, a Roth IRA, a regular brokerage account, or in Canada here, I've got a TFSA, an RRSP, and then like two regular brokerage accounts. What this is going to enable for you is bringing everything to one place so you can congruently see it all working together and how you're currently diversified. Because if we scroll down, let's just add in another company to show you guys how this works. So let's think of a stock like Bank of America. Bank of America. Let's add about 50 shares, and let's say we paid $25 a share on cost basis for that. It is simple as that to add it into the portfolio, which is pretty neat in and of itself. But if you're buying, say, Canadian stocks or REITs, you do have to be well aware of what those ticker symbols will be to pull the data. Because if we scroll down, we can see MindMed trades under MMED.NE, Northland Power trades under a .TO symbol, RioCan, any REIT Canadian trades with a REI-UN.TO. So you're gonna have to be a little bit aware of the tickers. But taking a look, it offers us the diversification, which I think is the most important part of any investor's portfolio, is knowing how their stocks are levered out between different sectors of the market. Beautiful analytics there, along with future value of your dividend portfolio, which is my personal favorite here, guys. It's like a cherry on top of the cake of seeing where you're going to end up down the road. And this takes in the dividend compound rate. So let's say my dividend year, 5-year dividend growth rate is about 12.24%, but calculate that out to 2030, and my portfolio without any capital growth, just dividends, is likely to be worth $383,000 with an annual dividend yield of 24,176. So this is some really awesome stuff to make sure you're kind of keeping on track with your own personal goals, or heck, even outperforming them, guys. You got your upcoming dividends, which is really awesome as well, because this is going to kind of project out what your income's going to look like. And obviously there's some speculation that comes in with this, but still a very useful tool. It shows you the unconfirmed and the confirmed dividends. And then the alerts are also super important here as well, because if you are highly focused on maybe needing that dividend income, you can set an alert. It'll shoot you an email and tell you, hey, guess what? You got a dividend payment coming up here this month. And then finally, part of the paid version includes the analytical tools, which I also think are very useful here, because I type in Kimberly-Clark and it brings up the price to earnings against other companies that are against its peers in the same sector. You can take a look at the EPS trends, the price to book analytics, the dividend history, and it's all conveniently put in a nice way to understand page. And again, you can log out, log in anywhere in the world. Very fluent and convenient here, guys. But if you're trying to get really technical, let's say you want to go beyond dividends, let's say you want to track your own personal finances, your income and expenses, maybe your portfolio has a bunch of different stuff you need to pay attention to on it. This is when spreadsheets will become a lot more prevalent in your life. And because my portfolio has expanded so drastically at this point with aggressive growth, dividends, I like having expanded analytical points, but this is going to come with some complications. So we're going to lose the simplicity of something like track your dividends, but we're also going to get some really cool insights here, guys. And what I'm talking about is the spreadsheets offered by my boy, Matt Money, works for a very large oil company. He's really great with math, numbers, and spreadsheets, and he put all of these together literally over, I think, more than 5 years, taking like constant advice, modified it as his portfolio grew, and this is what we get here, guys, which basically if you buy one of these, you're going to get all of them together for a one-time fee, no monthly subscription, which is another bonus that does come with these. Because I am affiliated, if you use my channel name, Passive Income Investor, you'll get 15% off the $14.99 price. And again, buy one, you're going to get them all. And what are you going to get? Well, let me show you the ones I personally use and how they kind of come once you buy them. Let's kick it off with the iCloud Tracker, which offers two different versions, one for Forex and one for US. And we're taking a look at the one that just purely does US here, folks, in which you're going to add the same sort of deal. It's a little bit more complicated. There's a few more data points we have to put in than track your dividends, but let's use another example again of Bank of America. We'll throw that in there and you're going to see it's going to pull all of this data up if we bear with it for a sec. And we're going to come over to Shares Original, where we're going to put in the shares that we purchased. And then there's a thing that says Shares Now. So this is presuming you're buying more shares over time, or you have it set up on a drip where your dividends are reinvesting, and you can add in what ends up adding up. So maybe we'll say we have 15 shares at this point with the average price paid, let's say $25 for Bank of America. And then what you're going to see happen is it's going to fill out the rest of these numbers here for us. And if we just scroll over, the last thing we want to do is hit the sector of the market. And obviously this is going to be in financials. Oh, sorry, I guess I can't type it in, but what we can do is bring the little drop down, hit financials, and that's going to add it to our overall portfolio overview, which we have in these top tabs. So if we hit overview now, it's going to take all of those analytics that we just filled out, the dividend, my likely dividend income, and it's going to put it all in this nice portfolio overview where we'll get to see the dividend income against the portfolio value based off the different sectors of the market. And you can play around with these, add what you want, take away what you don't want, but this is some beautiful stuff right here, guys. Then we get into dividends received, where you manually have to put in your actual dividend income, which it'll take that data as you input it over time, and it'll kind of bring it into your monthly dividends, where year over year you can see how your income grows. And then you also have your goals and actuals, where you can start paying attention to the progress of where you want to be and where you're going here. So this is just the iCloud Tracker, but also with the iCloud Tracker, you get a bunch of other tools. You're also getting an income and expense tracker that we put together along with a compound calculator that even calculates in inflation to project out where you're likely to be over, you know, your financial independence, retire early journey, dream goals here, or maybe you don't want to retire until you're 60. This is going to tell you everything you pretty much need to know. And this is just the iCloud one here, guys. So let's talk about the Google one, which is personally one of our favorites if you're focused on US only, because unfortunately the Google Tracker does not allow any kind of Forex stocks to be calculated as conveniently, not like Track Your Dividends is, but at the same note, you're getting way more analytical data points. So let me zoom in and show you what I'm talking about here. What are we at now? 50, let's go 75. So this is what the portfolio overview ends up looking like. You get income by sector, capital allocation, income by account, and value by account. And the way this works is exactly the same as the iCloud one. We can come into the portfolio right here, where it's going to show you all the same kind of analytics. You know, there's over dozens and dozens of analytical points here. It'll even show you your ownership in the company on the iCloud or the Google Sheets version, which I think is super awesome, guys. But let's say we do the same thing. Let's put in Bank of America. Bank of America. Let's get that in there. So we can see it's going to load up all the data for us, guys. And as we scroll over, we're basically going to go back to the same points that we saw on the iCloud, which we have over here on where it says manual. So it kind of shows you where you need to go. And then we got the price that we paid. So let me come down because I just added Bank of America. Let me make sure I'm on the right line here. Yeah, okay, so we're going to go to price paid. We'll do the same thing, $25 a share. Same deal, shares that we bought, let's say 34, and we still only have 34 shares. And now it's going to price that data in. Same deal, guys. You will have to manually put in the sector of the market, and then it'll allocate that into your portfolio overview. And then on top of that, this one automatically can help forecast your dividend income. Same sort of deal. You get goals versus actuals of where you're going on your dividend or your portfolio journey. And then finally, you get your monthly dividend analysis. And if that wasn't enough, you're not familiar with iCloud, you're not familiar with Google. Heck, we still offer the old original Excel sheets here, folks. This is the extent that Matt went to in putting these sheets together because he kind of wanted to make one for every individual platform. The problem with Excel is it's 100% not automated. So this one's all relatively manual, but it does does integrate a bunch of different sectors. So there are instructions on this one because Excel is always a little complicated when most of it's manual. You have your portfolio, your dividend tracker, your monthly tracker, which gives you some bars here to see where you're going, your yearly tracker, your yearly graph, sector allocation, which I always agree is the most important because obviously we don't want to be over diversifying in highly risky sectors. If you're into Fibonacci's, we got that there. We got drips. Now, taking a step back, the reason I love both of these so much is, let's say your portfolio goes beyond just stocks. That's when the spreadsheets are going to be a little bit more appropriate. They're going to be a lot more advanced for users that are probably going to be more hands-on and really want to be finicky about their holdings and their income sources. Whereas with Track Your Dividends is just a pure, simple play for anybody that just wants to track their portfolio, highly focused on that dividend income. I'm going to leave all the affiliate links in the comment section below for you guys. If you want to check them out, just click those links. It supports the channel as well. And even though I'm affiliated with both of these companies, I do not have invested interest because I just want to make money off of them. This comes from my own personal experience of over several years in the market, trying multitudes of portfolio trackers and just knowing what's currently available out there. So I pass the question off to you. I'd love to know what you guys think in that comment section below. But in light of all of this, stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to catching you tomorrow.